In this video, I am going to walk you through what are the data and APIs available in public that you can use for your project in future. So there is this repo that is very popular known as public APIs. Here you can go through a collection of different APIs that you can have access to. Things like animals, books, calendar, environment, documentary, productivity, games, and a lot of other stuff that you can see here. And it has been categorized into different formats. So for example, you're interested into cat facts. So here you can see it says auth, somewhere it will say no, and somewhere it will say API key. And you also have some things like HTTPS, whether it supports HTTPS or not, and then you have course. So let us first talk about auth, that is, there is no authentication. You remember we were accessing data from GitHub. So here we are just saying api.github.com/users and username. We don't have to provide any kind of authentication for that. And that is what means is you don't need any authentication for it. So when you go onto this website, you'll understand it is very simple to just access data from here by clicking on the URL. So I'll click on Docs homepage, and here if you go down, you'll see Start Developing. You click on that. So you got the URL from here. You can copy it and open in new tab. You press enter. You will not get anything because you have to go on to any specific route. So here it says /facts will give you facts and /users will give you user data. So we are going to say /facts. I need facts from here. So as soon as you click on that, you will get data in JSON format. And here you can see it's an array of object, and inside this, all the fact is verified whether it is true or not. So this kind of API doesn't require any authentication for you to access it, and that's why it says no. But there are other kind of API that will require some kind of API key. And the way we are going to do that is by using the website Unsplash. So Unsplash is a website that gives you royalty-free stock images and also gives you access to all the APIs. So you can just click on it and click on API/developers. And once you go here, it will ask you to register as a developer. I'm already registered, but if you're not, you can just click on register and register it. I'll go on login, and here I'll log in with my details. And once you're logged in, you can go on to API/developers, and here you can look at all the apps that you have created. Because every time you want to create something, you will have to create a new application. So here I'll click on new application. You can name it anything. So I'm just going to tick mark here, and here I can just tick mark all these things and click on accept terms. So here I'm going to name this application XML HTTP request, or you can make network request or whatever it is, and you can just give a description. This is a test application for showing how to fetch data, and you can create the application. Once you have created the application, here you will get access to the API key. I'll copy it, and what I'll do, I'll just paste it here and comment it, so we are going to use it in future. Once you're done with that, you just need documentation to understand how to use this API. So here, when you go down, you will see this is the main API URL. So I'll also put this here, so we are going to use it. Then when you go down and you want to access a random photo, so you'll click on this, and here it says you have to go on to /photos/random. So here I'll save it, and what I need to do, I need to pass the authentication. So if you just go on to this URL right now, it will not give you anything. So let's try it out. So here, paste it, it will say it is not authorized. You need to send token also. So let's see how you can send token. So when you search for auth, you will see the way you send your authorized token is by sending it as a params. So you say $client ID is coming from there. So here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put /, and client ID is coming from here. So I'll just copy this and we'll paste it here. And now if you press enter, what do you see? You see a random image from here. So what I can do now, I can use this to create an application. So here, instead of this UI, I can remove this part, and here in our HTML file, we'll create an image tag, and we'll also create a button. That button will say get new image, and here inside our JavaScript file will get access to both the element. So we'll say const image is query selector, and here we are going to say image, and here we'll say button. We'll name it reload. And at last, we're just going to add an event listener on reload of type click. Whenever that happens, you have to call this function. And what that function is going to do, that function is going to fetch this data. So here, after fetching data, we will get access to that inside xhr.response. We'll get access to image. And here we'll say image.src is coming from image. We can also name it image data. So we'll say image data dot. So it is going to be an object. From that object, we are going into URLs. From URL, I'm just looking for a small one. So we'll say image.urls.small. We'll save that. Now we'll go ahead, open this application in our browser. We'll press enter. Here it is saying get new image. When you click on it, it is not displaying anything. Let's see what is going wrong. So we'll open console. We'll go on to network, and any network request that you make will be visible here. So now when we click on get new image, is it fetching any new data or not? Let's see. So now when we go and refresh this page, click on get new image, it is not making any request. Let's see why it is happening. Here we are not linking the JavaScript file. So we'll say script.src is coming from index.js. Now refresh it, click on it, it is going to fetch some data. And what do we see here? A new image. Click on it again, you'll see a new image. Click on it again, you'll keep seeing a new image every time you click on it. So in this way, what we did is we used authentication by providing client ID here. So there are a lot of APIs that will ask you to register your application, and after registering, it will give you access to an access key. Using that access key, you can make requests to the API. So that is the difference between auth and no auth. So when there is no auth, you can directly access them, but when there is auth, you have to access it using some kind of access key. You also need to learn how to read documentation. So if you go on to this, you will see that it provides a lot of information. You can search images. Here you can get a random images. Here you can get a collection of images. So you have to read the documentation properly to understand how to use these things. So in this way, we learn to get data from a place that asks you to provide some kind of authentication. So here we used Unsplash API to get some random data and display it here.